Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly here with another review. This week's is a Netflix exclusive. That's right, we're talking about Jamie Foxx in Day Shift. Did you want to watch Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg hunt vampires? And Jamie Foxx pretends to be a pool boy, doesn't tell his wife, who's estranged, and is taking the house, and he's having to live in an apartment. Daughter doesn't know. In the day, he hunts vampires for money and he got thrown out of the union. There's a vampire hunter union, and he's trying to get back in. And Snoop Dogg's trying to help him get back in because if he doesn't raise like $50,000 by the end of the week, his wife's selling the house and moving to Florida to be with her mom and taking his daughter, and he doesn't want to lose his daughter. So he has to get back into the vampire killing union to raise enough money so he can keep his daughter. And then there's another vampire. She's a woman, and she's trying to take over all the different vampire cliques in the valley in California and LA so that she can be basically their warlord or whatever. And he accidentally kills her daughter, but her daughter's old, and she comes looking for him. And if you're thinking this is getting confusing, Joe Lewis, stop telling us the plot. You now know how I feel. Is it terrible? Day Shift. No, it's not terrible. It's just so stupid. It's written by Shay Hatton and directed by J.J. Perry. Shay Hatton wrote another movie I can't stand called Army of the Dead, but this one's slightly better than Army of the Dead, but it still doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. He also wrote John Wick 3, but you don't show up for the John Wick films for the plot. J.J. Perry, the director, this is his first time being first and foremost. He is a second unit director and a famous stuntman. He's worked on almost all the Fast and Furious films and directed second unit all of them. He has an impressive career. However, this particular picture starring Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, probably not the best calling card. The thing is, though, it's also got Dave Franco. It's not awful. This movie's not awful. If it sounds like I'm crapping on it, it's just because it's incredibly poorly written, plotted out. There are scenes that just jump. Like, why is this one lady that lives next to Jamie Foxx, who he meets only once, before we find out this plot twist with her beforehand and how she wishes she'd never done it to him? What does it even mean? They don't even explain it. It's just poorly written. However, it's not terrible. It's watchable. It's just don't think about it. In fact, the opening scene with the vampire that he kills at the first of it is pretty cool. How they hire a lot of contortionists, and I was watching this with someone, and she was like, "Yeah. That's the fourth time I've seen the same contortionist." It's fun, but don't think about it at all. So, can I recommend it if you have Netflix and you want to watch a stupid action vampire film? Then yes, by all means. It's slightly better than Army of the Dead or whatever it was called, that Vegas one. That one's awful. Can I recommend it? I like Jamie Foxx a lot. I like Snoop Dogg a lot. Dave Franco's fine. Dave Franco has some funny lines in it. There's a couple of funny scenes in it. But can I recommend it? Only if you have Netflix and only if you're looking for something at the middle of the night and you're like, ah, man. It does have the great character actor Peter Stormare in it, which I appreciate, but he's only in it 2 or 3 scenes. Snoop Dogg actually isn't in a ton. There's a couple of riffs on other more famous vampire films. His boss is slightly funny. It's just all slightly. It's not so bad. It's fun to watch. It's in that it's not good, but it's tolerable. And if you got an hour and 50 minutes to kill, go ahead and check it out. So this has been my review of Day Shift. I can't recommend it, but I can't tell you it's awful. Once again, some of the vampire scenes are cool. Some of the fights are cool. Check it out for that. This has been Joe Lewis, Bonehead Weekly.